Hello guys, welcome to a new YouTube video. This is the second video on the channel and this is the second video of the episode. This is the tutorial on how to play Rise of Nations. It's a full description, full overview. At the end I'll be giving you some tips and tricks in the game. So let's get started. If you haven't watched the first video, I recommend going and watching the first video. This is the second episode, so we are going to just catch off where we left off and so please enjoy this video and so like last time we're in Nigeria and where we left off was the technology bit. So what technology does, it gives you some benefits, like for example infantry improvements, which will basically give you basically more attack. For example, you can see on the right, that's the infantry improvements. You have to click on one first to get it. There's research, there's tank for everything, so you get more research power there. And all of these, what you can use is to get more attack, for example, but it does have some benefits. They are very useful, you should use them, and they are insanely good. Makes your troops unbelievably overpowered. These sport improvements, these are the naval improvements. There's quite a lot actually. And you can see also down there is your research power. This is the aerial. And then one of my favourites, the economic improvements. Oops. Oh my days. Alright, so then at the bottom is political improvements, which I also like quite a lot, especially the political science, which we talked about in the last episode, which will give us more political power, which is, remember in the old video, which is quite useful. There's quite a lot, recommend researching them, but yeah. Now you'll see what happens whenever you click on them. You will get a thing. There is on the left side, you can see, you need to use this. You can only use one to unlock everything. You can halt it, which basically stops it, or you can auto it. So after it finishes the first level, it will continue. And if you can see on the left, ignore my economy improvements, we're just doing it. Basically, you can see the up and down arrow, basically you can move it around. Now over here is electronic payments, industrial automation, and robotic miners. So my three favourite for the economy. Just a great tip for you to know. And the good things is you can get building costs and stuff, and extra city tiers, which basically is something else. And political improvements. These are the three I usually use. I don't recommend toggle autoing them. You can just get the next stage. They are quite rubbish if you just toggle auto the improvements, but they do make your research faster. Now over here's your leaders. Remember the political power, which we can get from technologizing the political stuff, political science. And these are our leaders, remember, like last time. So now let's go to the next bit. Now over here is your military tab. It is quite useful. You can see your unit type, your amount, and your upkeep. Wow, that's 440,000, quite a lot. And you can see your military readiness, which will tell us your attack and stuff. If you go low with the economy, you will get less of those benefits, and more you'll get more. This is your military power, it increases. And now, I recommend putting it up to max if you're a small country, but as Nigeria, I wouldn't really recommend it. It basically gives you more strength in your troops, which is quite OP. And you see, there it gives me a benefit now. It just takes its time to do it, but I'm just going to put it back because it is not very useful because I don't have an economy yet. And you see, it does also give me some military power increase over there. Now over here's your doctrine, so you can see the naval and the aerial and the land. These basically give you some benefits on certain things. They're quite useful, as you can see here, mass production, special training, and basically they give you some benefits, yada yada yada. I use special training for this one, why not? Light flotilla, there's some marine warfare and grand fleet, and there's quite a lot. And then for land, I'll explain pretty much. These are the most important ones I use. Maneuver warfare for tanks, specialization for whenever you're in hard terrain, and the other two were mass attack and like this one, mass production. Just a lot of troops and static lines, which was defense. So yeah, let's go to the next bit. Now over here's the military groups. In the old game you didn't have to do them, you had to do them manually, but there is one for the army, navy and air force, so you used to just have to write random words and create. You can keybind them I don't really do that. And basically, whenever you'll get to the next bit, for military leaders, you assign them to your group, you assign them to your infantry, yada yada yada, and it gives you some benefits. But yeah, and over here's some military leaders. You have to click that for now. You can see there's the infantry. You can reshuffle your candidates for some military power. It's basically the same as the leaders. You can reshuffle your leaders for political power. And what these do is they give you some benefits on the ground. So the infantry little bit means the army, the navy logo anchor basically gives you the navy, and then the airplane gives you the air force benefits. They do have some benefits and some extra benefits. They are quite useful. I recommend using them. But I'd recommend using doctrines before you get one of them. I mean, if you can't find a good one, which of the good ones would probably be tank attack, or infantry, or like occupation or defense. And then for the Air Force, I would say just like if you're specializing on one kind of troop, and the Navy the same thing. And yeah. Now over here's your military operations. It's kind of like in the real world. Oh my gosh, I can't speak today. Basically what this does is, gives you some benefits and de-benefits. They only last 180 days. They're kind of rubbish. I recommend using them. My favorite is guerrilla warfare. It just makes it really annoying, and the resistance is crazy. The resistance goes up like crazy, and basically makes you unstoppable. I recommend watching other kind of people. I recommend like Amanda Kotze or some other random YouTubers who do this kind of stuff and focus on some of this stuff, like aspects in some of the games, like economy or, for example, resistance, like I just explained. Now over here you can see the ongoing wars. Don't really care about them. And next is military modifiers. So remember how I wanted the country modifiers? They basically just show how strong we are. Now I'm gonna just move my screen. If you remember from last video, I had to do that because of the thing. Over here's your economy. You can see your income and de-benefits. Over here's your population, which is quite useful. It's for the rankings. Your economy and population, you can see some aspects about them. Yeah, so over here's your manpower. Basically tells you how much you can get, like troops wise. Your troops cost manpower and money. And then here's your war exhaustion. I think we talked about it. It basically gives you de-benefits if you've been in a war for too long. And the same as like corruption from last video. And then next over here is the stability. And we talked about that before, I think, last video as well. Basically it gives you more or de-benefits or benefits if you have higher ones, and then you can open it more over here, but don't really worry about that. It just gives you a little bit more insights. There's your corruption, we talked about it last time. So it does give you a lot of de-benefits. You should probably do them. So the next kind of recordings, they are going to kind of be off beat of the text, so I'm sorry about this. It's just the recording messed up, so you can just kind of read the text. It is a bit messed up. Sorry about the kind of difficulties, how much it is increased by, yada yada yada. And so you can see your research power, or you can see how much you're using, how much you're gaining, and pretty much that's about it. Now over here's your military power. You can see how much I have in your increase, like always, like the same pretty much as the political power. And it just gives you more insight about really bother about them. And you can see this is the formable. You can see the screen of other people people from forming. Sometimes they have text about you can get a new flag, which is really cool, as you can see. Oh, I know I'm messing up. Oh my days, I'm so slow. Okay, you see over here, you can remember I said the last video, and it's also in the rankings as well. Portugal. Okay, usually the worst country is Tuvalu, because you can't form rankings of anything, which is kind of bad, and poop. So yeah. Now over here you can see your infantry, and here's your little tab thing on the right. You can switch between map modes and diplomatic actions. I usually use it, and you can see if you're justified on a nation. And I think I've explained last time, maybe I've not. And then you can see your military groups and troops. You can see your trades, which are not doing any, not selling or buying yet. You can see how many resources we have. Basically, you can see in the trades menu. And over here is your outgoing aid, so you're sending aid to other people. I think we're incoming, I don't really know. It's kind of rubbish with this. I'm kind of rubbish with this kind of stuff, you see. And we can send this one time or monthly. You can create capture zones, and they are quite useful. I mean, I don't really know not much about them, but yeah. Now over here you can search for cities. Let's say a something, you can see this Russian city, and it directs us to it. So it's directly in the middle of the screen, you see that city. And yeah, I mean, it's not really that important kind of thing, but you know, you rarely use it kind of thing. Now these are the map modes, they're quite random. You can see the who's players, the dark means no players, and the colours of the countries means they're players. It's quite cool. There's a lot of different map modes, so you can play around with them. They tell you resources, city tier, etc, etc. They tell you how people are doing, kind of. And yeah, by the way, if you want to go back to norm one, it's political, just for your sake. And there's quite a lot, so I recommend just playing with them whenever you're bored. Now what I just always do is, this one's my favourite one, the tiles. It's really cool. I don't even really understand them, but yeah. Now over here we're going to learn how to justify and how to declare war. Over here we go click on the city or country or whatever, and yeah, you can declare war, that button. And I was told about last time, but the buttons, what we're going to do is we're going to go, we can form alliances with them, but they also won't accept. We can go to form an aggression pact as well. You can set it for 12, 6 or 3 months, and you can make them puppet, which obviously they can't accept because they're AI, and some people accidentally do it, so that's actually a really big tip. Don't accept anything pretty much as a new player. You have to read it very carefully, and I have made mistakes, especially as a new player, about that. Now what we have to go and do is now what we're going to do is we're going to justify on them, and we can do the conquest. We're just going to annex them. We can subjugate, which makes them a puppet, and we can liberate them, where it releases all the countries they own. Now, basically, you can see the conquest usually takes the lowest, and the subjugation takes usually the longest, and liberation takes even longer, and the conquest takes the least. And the time, but it does take some days, and the further away the country is and the bigger it is, it does take longer to justify, and some laws and policies, for example, can make justification be pain in the butt. And yeah, so we're just kind of got to wait. We can build up a military, build up our technology, build up the economy while waiting. What we're going to do, we're going to move our troops over to Cameroon so we can go attack them. And there is like this little, wherever your mouse goes, you can kind of see where your troops are going to go. Yellow means it's going to go over the sea. Sometimes it doesn't mean that, you can kind of just ignore it. And white basically means on land. Now what you can just see, what I just did there was I held shift, and I just, do clicking over, you can see hover over the screen. To click on my dude, you can usually generally click it, and you can hover what I'm doing, basically what you do in Windows. And yeah. So now we can see whenever we need to go, because he's on 90, so we can just be, my troops are moving, and let's go there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make shapes with them. They kind of dodge stuff, or, you can do attacks with them. It's kind of cool. You can just make shapes for fun. I think what we're making here is a little bit interesting. And okay, they'll go around like that, and there's a hotbar on top, on the bottom left, on the screen. You can see we can do them. You can form a line, which basically wherever you do that, they'll form a line, kind of like you see. Very, very cool. And it will split them, I think, most of the time. And not really sure how that works. I know I'm terrible, and if you go over here, there's a hot spot again. I'm moving all my troops together, which I just select all my troops, and what we can do is we can take a hand of the stuff, and yes, they're justified, and you can see the entrenchment, which basically makes it harder for it to be attacked, because you've just been sitting down for so long. It's very annoying, entrenchment. And yeah, we're going to declare war, press conquest, and yeah, so we're going to go get in that city. Now what we're doing here is we're making his AI troops go to us, and we're going to have to get entrenched. So you can see our troops will get entrenched and give us a modifier boost. And basically what it will do, it will kill all of his troops pretty much and give us a huge benefit. And sometimes people do, even if they are AI, they will leave, and they do have some super troops of technology and extra stuff, so sometimes it doesn't work. You kind of just got to do all you can to remove their troops, and that makes it easy for you, because if you don't, basically all the cities you own, they will just go to get and take it back, which is really annoying. Makes it killing a AI country 10 times longer and harder. So I do recommend getting all of these troops out, and then we can see the military upkeep. And he's not moving, so I do not like that. I might just have to go in for a strip. I do have a lot. I must be able to, I'm guessing, be able to take out all of his troops. Now I just wanted to point out something. You can see my war extortion is kind of going up a bit, and that does hurt my stability. And it doesn't do anything to my corruption, because that is just like usually laws or policies. And you can see what I did to start training. You can make them into modification groups. You can assign groups and also start training them. What I was doing there was I specialized them. I don't think I did that in the video, oops. And basically what you have to do is right click on it, and then you can choose specialization for the terrain. You can see, usually whenever you go over it, you can see. And this is the other kind of things. You can do movement settings, and then you can put reinforcements off and on. But it does kind of basically mean if your troops get attacked or something, they will kind of redo it. But usually I put it off. I mean, most of the time, especially infantry, I recommend putting off, because they are really annoying, because they are all manpower and they're really useless most of the time. I mean, if you're going full-on infantry, do not put reinforcements on, and you'll see my troops aren't going to destroy his troops, but it does have its cost. They are. And most of my troops have been absolutely obliterated just from being them. Their troops have been entrenched, although we have 5 times more troops than them. It's crazy how OP it is. I do recommend using a little resistance, because that will be 10 times harder as well for them to take the city. And now I'm going to take the square city. Now what the difference is between a square and city and a small city, and is basically a city which can hold over 1 million population. Now what this means, you'll be able to have like a stronger kind of takeover for the city, and you have more troops or something, and it means you can take over, use tanks. Now you can hold the troops, which will stop them. You can put auto motor on, which will basically stop them from splitting in half. And explained that before, you can form a line of them, and yada yada yada. And then we're just going to put them on our city just for now. As you can see, we took their capital, which will destroy the stability, but our stability is bad because we haven't done anything for it. So you see the little bar that tells us how far we are into destroying the city, and then we'll get the land. It's a really cool game, to be honest, and you can just find your troops who will destroy them, or you can auto capture. Cameroon, you can see the display recapture cities. You can capture all whenever you're in a war with multiple people, and then you can obviously choose the country you want to attack. My troops absolutely going to obliterate Cameroon, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to explain how to earn a lot of money. And what you can do is you can press on your core, which is your core cities, which all of the cities generally country actually owns, which kind of mean this is really accurate. The population, etc., for actual real data. I think it's mainly off 2019 rankings, because the game does start in 2019, January 1st. Only the 2018 population. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm just going to click on the city tier, and what we're going to do is you can see your tier, which is upgrading your city tier. You can put siege alert on off, you can move your capital, 3% stability, 10% during wartime, and basically what that means is you basically just move the capital. So if it's invaded, then you just kind of get rid of the invaded city. You can see your resources, you can see your infantry, you can build troops and stuff, and this is how you build troops, and this is how you build buildings through here. You can scorch your city, which basically puts on fire. I can explain my source. I'm not putting on my capital, because it will just put on fire, and it does really hurt your unrest. And it is annoying whenever people do after that they take over. You can see your fire is on a fire, and now that means basically you cannot buy or place troops or buildings on it for quite a while, probably 5 minutes, which is really annoying. because if you catch it back, it's really annoying. It makes your troops have less, and you can see the red bar basically means even losing because it has less attrition. So it kind of sucks. And whenever that happens, it's usually whenever you take over. For example, you can build infantry, which we're going to do, and you can see the cost, manpower, and the upkeep of the troop. As you can see how fast it's building, you can assign it to the group, the city, wherever the troop will be built. Be signed to the groups, military groups, which will basically send them to the leader straight away to construct, select all cities. All you have to do is, hover over and press control, I think, or shift, whatever one is. Just try it out. I don't know, I don't remember. I'm just so natural to it now that you just kind of do it naturally. As you can see, your troops have been made. And for example, this is a square city, so you cannot make it. But you can see there are some needed parts. There is some consumers, or whatever makes your ship much stronger. This one probably the most important parts for beginners. Beginners make mistake on it as usual. Basically finishing the war, you can right click to do all of this stuff. Basically taking all their cities, you can take all their treasury, taking all their resources that they own. And you can only really choose these ones. You can press demand war operations as well. Don't really do it. It's actually really no point. You can't really do these ones. So you have to do the perfect, justification, like subjugation, wherever you can pop them on, or you can may also war operation and liberation, force them to, liberate countries. And honestly, if you do liberation, just generally, I hate you. You're really annoying. And then what we're going to do is you can't see where you click on them. We're going to do is, just max everything out, and they will accept it because they are dead. And you see, we got all their resources, then with the money, we're going to move our troops back to the capital now. So today, guys, I think that's it with me. Going to do the forming next video, and so I'm going to end it here. Thank you for tuning in. Please enjoy this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe. It means a lot. I'm a small creator. I'm trying to go big. Thank you. Bye, y'all.